Let's start with a truth most men never hear. Women are not hard to understand. They're not a puzzle, not a game, and definitely not an enemy. They are human, deeply emotional, beautifully intuitive, and just like you, they have triggers, soft spots that, when touched the right way, create deep emotional impact. But here's the catch. You won't find these in a pickup artist's handbook or a TikTok reel. You find them in silence, in presence, in purpose. And today, I'm breaking down the 9 emotional triggers that quietly, powerfully, and consistently draw women in. Not because you played it right, but because you became the kind of man who resonates with her at a deeper level. This is where Stoicism meets primal connection. Whether you're looking to build a relationship, recover from heartbreak, or just better understand yourself and others, this is for you. Let's begin with what I call sovereign confidence. Most men confuse confidence with bravado. They think it's about being loud, showing off, or outshining others. But true confidence, the kind that women gravitate toward without knowing why, is rooted in stillness. It's unshaken, not reactive, and most importantly, it doesn't beg for recognition. Imagine a man walking into a room not seeking attention but commanding presence through posture, eye contact, and calm energy. He doesn't need to be seen, and that's exactly why he is. Women respond to that because it signals safety, clarity, and internal strength. It's rare, and in a world of noise, it's magnetic. There's a silent superpower many men overlook: emotional attunement. It means being aware of subtle shifts, her tone, her silence, the way her eyes dart when something's off. Not because you're trying to read her, but because you're present. One client of mine, Ethan, used to always ask, "Are you okay?" every time his girlfriend got quiet. She hated it. Not because she didn't want to be asked, but because it made her feel like her silence was a problem to solve. We shifted his response. Instead of questions, he offered presence. When she got quiet, he simply said, "I'm here if you need me," and then gave space. Her response? She opened up naturally. Why? Because she felt safe, not interrogated. Women fall for the man who feels them, not the one who tries to fix them. When emotions run high, most men either explode or withdraw, but the grounded man holds space. This is the essence of Stoicism: emotional sovereignty. Not repressing emotions, but not being controlled by them either. Silence, in this context, becomes a mirror. It reflects strength. When she's venting or spiraling, and you stay steady, not cold, not checked out, but anchored, she recalibrates. This doesn't mean be passive. It means listen deeply, speak slowly, and resist the urge to defend or dominate. One of my subscribers told me how during a heated argument, instead of raising his voice, he simply said, "I care about you too much to argue right now. Let's revisit this when we're both clear." That moment changed their relationship. Why? Because his silence wasn't retreat. It was leadership. There's something electric about steady, grounded eye contact. It says, "I'm here, and I see you." It doesn't shout for attention or try to dominate. It simply is. When you lock eyes with a woman and hold it without flinching, you're transmitting confidence without needing to say a word. But it's not a stare down. It's calm, intentional, comfortable in silence. Remember, eye contact isn't a tactic. It's a reflection of your internal state. If you're grounded, your gaze will feel like presence, not pressure. I once coached a guy named Leo. On our first call, he said, "I can't look people in the eyes." We worked on posture, breathwork, and grounding. 3 months later, he told me, "I held eye contact with a woman for the first time, and she smiled without me saying a word." Power isn't volume. It's stillness. You don't need to be a riddle, but you do need depth. In a world of overexposure and emotional dumping, mystery is currency. Women aren't drawn to confusion. They're drawn to curiosity. To the man who hints at life experience, not flaunts it. You want to be open, yes, but layered. Let her discover you over time. Drop breadcrumbs. Mention a hard lesson you learned without diving into a sob story. Let her ask questions. Let her earn pieces of your truth. A woman once told me, The most attractive guy I ever dated didn't try to impress me. He just lived like his life had weight, and I wanted to understand it. Be that man. Passion burns fast. Purpose burns forever. Women aren't just drawn to men with ambition. They're drawn to men with direction. Men who are building something, even if it's still in seed form. Think about this. When your energy is tied to your mission, you stop chasing. You radiate clarity. And that clarity becomes gravity. I know a man, a single dad, broke, working on a nonprofit. Women would flock to him, not because he was flashy, but because he had vision. His why was bigger than himself. That's the fire she wants to sit next to. Purpose tells her, this man won't get lost in me. He'll invite me to walk beside him. There is a buried desire in many strong women to surrender a little, but only to a man strong enough to deserve it. Leadership doesn't mean barking orders. It means direction, decisiveness, and calm authority. I always say, she doesn't want a dictator. She wants a captain. When you make decisions with clarity, from where to eat to how you handle conflict, she softens. Not because you control her, but because she feels safe. Next time she says, I don't care, you pick, don't freeze. Choose, own it, watch her lean in. Here's the ultimate paradox. When you can walk away, you become unforgettable. Women subconsciously test for strength, not the physical kind, but emotional sovereignty. And nothing screams power more than a man who doesn't chase validation or fear loss. Not out of pride, out of principle. I had a client, Noah, who told his girlfriend, I love you deeply, but I won't lose myself to keep you, she cried. Not because he hurt her, but because she realized he loved her freely. That's the final trigger, the quiet fear of losing a man who knows how to let go. You don't need more tricks, you need more truth. Become the kind of man who leads with presence, who doesn't perform, who sees and feels deeply, but stands rooted like a tree. Because in a world of noise, the calm man becomes unforgettable. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. Don't try to be what she wants. Be who you are fully with depth and direction. And watch how the right woman doesn't just follow. She chooses you. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more videos on masculine energy, purpose, and high-level emotional mastery. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment. What's one trait you want to embody more starting today? Stay grounded, stay present,